Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping into, well, one of the biggest hypothetical questions you can ask. We're exploring what would actually happen if the Earth just stopped spinning. And not a slow grind to a halt, we're talking an instant dead stop.
And that instant part is everything.
Yeah.
Based on the physics, our mission today is to understand why even a 1-second stop would be globally catastrophic.
Okay, so let's unpack that 1 second. If that's all it takes, it must mean our planet's systems are incredibly dependent on that constant motion.
They absolutely are. It all boils down to inertia.
So what are the first things to, go haywire? What systems are hit instantly?
Right. The sources really highlight 3 areas: gravity, the oceans, and, well, the rather all-encompassing phrase, everything on the surface.
Wait, hold on a second. Gravity. How does the spin affect a fundamental force like gravity? I would have thought the problem was just everything flying off the surface.
That's a great question, and you're right. The initial killer is inertia. The gravity part is a little more subtle. The Earth's actual gravitational pull, its mass, that wouldn't change. But the rotation does cause a slight bulge at the equator, which affects surface gravity.
I see.
But the real reason it's mentioned is because of the secondary effects. When the oceans slosh around, that's a massive redistribution of mass.
Yeah.
That would dramatically change local gravity. But you're spot on, inertia is the immediate threat.
Got it. So let's focus on that, on the inertia. Just how fast are we talking here?
Well, at the equator, you're moving at over 1,000 miles per hour, just sitting there.
So when the ground suddenly locks in place?
You don't. Nothing on the surface does. People, cars, buildings, trees, everything continues moving at essentially supersonic speed.
That's just total obliteration.
Complete. And that's before we even get to the atmosphere. It would detach from the surface, creating a global wind that would scour the planet.
A wind moving at 1,000 miles per hour.
Exactly. And then there are the oceans.
Right. They keep their momentum, too.
Yeah, they'd slosh eastwards in these enormous continent-sized waves. We're talking about global mega tsunamis miles high that would just wash the continents clean.
So when the sources say everything on the surface, they mean it in the most literal sense possible.
In the most absolute sense, it's a planetary reset button. So the key takeaway for you, really, is that our planet's stability isn't a passive state.
It's an active one.
It's an active state, completely dependent on this constant managed kinetic energy. A pause, no matter how brief, just shatters that entire equilibrium.
It's a terrifying thought, really, the stability we just take for granted. So here's a final thought for you to chew on. We talked about that catastrophic first second, but what happens after? After the land is stopped and the atmosphere and oceans have been sheared away, how long would it take for all that air and water to slow down and, catch up with the stationary Earth? And what kind of bizarre, unimaginable weather would happen in the meantime? Something to think about until our next deep dive.